understand it, you start to have more control. But when you start to understand what's going on behind that, then you get all the control, and that's a brilliant journey that he's desperate to go on.
Is he the next England captain? Is it a shoe-in?
I think first of all, I just say, Johnny, put the ball down, kick it over.
Yeah.
Just build a score.
Yeah.
Right, technical stuff's fantastic. Captaincy, yes, I'm sure Lawrence's view. I think just watching him, they're talking about Lions captaincy for him. I just think he's such a driving force within the change room and on the pitch. So the answer is, I think,
He can be, but playing in that position number 10, you're a captain anyway. So, you don't need to give him the old man. That's enough responsibility. On 9 and 10, I think that the captain should always be in front of him so he can shout orders at the captain.
and in the falls.
Yeah, of course, in front of him.
Okay, time for a quick break. Kick-off just under 15 minutes away, and then we'll hear from the England coach, Eddie Jones, in a moment or two when we return.
ITV's coverage of the RBS Six Nations, sponsored by the new Peugeot 3008 SUV.
At British Gas, we've got some great news for our customers. Now you can control your heating from your phone, wherever you are, with Hive Active Heating for just £9 a month. Even better, you won't have to pay anything up front. And you'll never need to heat an empty home again. So, join thousands of customers controlling their heating from their phone with Hive. Search British Gas Hive.
Powerful memories are made of adventure. The Nissan X-Trail with the new high-powered 2-litre diesel engine, built to build families.
Surround yourself with new big screen drama every month and get a free 32-inch LG TV when you join Sky TV. Enjoy big must-see shows like Big Little Lies exclusively on Sky Atlantic with any TV bundle from £22 a month. We'll also provide you with Sky Q, our next generation box, so you can store and record more. Just search Sky Bundles. Sky. Believe in better.
I've failed everything. Even all. Mum, Dad said we could rehunt tuppence. He's not. We keep him.
Mum, you're going to be a grandma.
Don't worry, guys. Everything's pucker. Golden pastry, chunky in meat and rich in gravy. An Andy recipe, everything's pucker.
Pick off the corner, clear away at the near post. He could have a crack out. Good effort. Pick off the corner, clear away at the near post. He could have a crack out. Sensational.
Great. Just got greater. Turbocharge your winnings with a chance of cash bonuses when you cash out any bet with all new Cash Out Boost. Why cash out anywhere else? Sky Bet. That's betting better.
Paying for other people's bad driving.
That's £53, please.
There's no expense could save an average of £170 on our car insurance. Download the Aviva Drive app to see if you can save.
If you need a new boiler, we'll give you £400 off until the 31st of March. Search British Gas New Boiler or call 0800 980 8182.
Here, with Alsace, live the most intelligent dogs in the world. They're sachets. They deliver Monaco to the desert. Where's André? Man's best friend, delivering one of man's greatest achievements. The best super.
ITV's coverage of the
Hey, it's on.
Sponsored by the new Peugeot
Happy
3008
fucking days.
SUV.
Happy fucking days.
Eddie Jones has had one or two visitors to training this week. Chelsea coach Antonio Conte popped by for a chat, and so did Eddie's own dog Annie, who seemed keen to get involved as well. Let's hear from the England coach with Mark.
Right, so we got England versus Italy.
Maybe the public perception is that this is a game which is a no-brainer for England. Grab the
It's not a game that I'm really interested in. I got a good idea who's going to win it, but not very not very good if England end up getting a lot of points. It's not very good then. I mean, it is coming down to just 3 teams. Those 3 teams. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to see why my dog just went nuts swole. Hang on, I'll be back now.
Yeah, look, he's a young guy, still only 24 years of age. He's a real leader in our team. I know his next 50 is going to be better than his first 50. How important is it going to be that the players who you view as the leaders step up today to make sure that things stay on track? Yeah, look, attitude's everything. We've got attitude and effort. We've got the right attitude, we've got the right effort. We've trained like that for 2 weeks to have. Then we'll put in a good performance, and a good performance is what we need. Thanks for your time.
Well, Italy might need a bit of papal intervention this afternoon here at Twickenham, but Clive, you think they might go quite well today?
Yeah. The Italian team got into the Six Nations 20 years ago.
I'm back.
Passionate
I'm back.
people,
Don't worry, people, I'm back.
England have never lost to them. They've had some close stories, especially in 90.
I'm back.
It just seems to me they seem to have lost a bit of that. But I think a lot of the kind of feedback over the last few weeks since they lost to Ireland is you've got a feeling this passion's come back with them. I'm expecting Italy to really come out and see the old Italy today. So I'm saying it's England going to win. But I just believe that this could be near us at 30 points rather than 70, 80 people predicting it. I hope so, because I want Italy to go really well today and just prove they should.
I've just got to share the stream out a sec, people.
Reports there from his teammates. It's his 50th cap, so he'll lead the team out on his own, about 10-15 seconds ahead of the rest of his teammates. Do you want me a quick word about Tio in midfield? Is this a sort of Tuolangi breaking the gain line sort of approach?
I think what it is a direct runner. He's a 1-foot stepper, so he runs at pace and changes less direction, but maintains that kind of forward momentum. Instead of Joseph, he's got those fabulous feet where he can go from nothing to side. So I think we'll see him being used going forward, but still don't think that's going to mean straight up and down. The guy's got great feet and he's also got great offloading ability, so there's a chance there for the guy to keep the game alive and to keep England out off the floor and away from this ruck to ruck kind of game.
I mean, lots of improvement, I think, from England. They're going to be restless in terms of their improvement. I think the breakdown, which we were second best against Wales, I'd like to see England really.
Yeah, you were second best against Wales. You got very lucky, boys. Same against France, really. I mean, you got lucky against France.
Applause from the Twickenham crowd, and we'll join our commentary team of David Flatman, Udo Monia, and Nick Mullins.
Thanks very much, Mark. Good afternoon, everybody. The championship that provided some wonderful soundtracks yesterday. How great it was to listen to Murrayfield in full voice, in full sail, the noise and the colour of Dublin, as well as Ireland maintain their title challenge. And now it's Twickenham's turn to try and round off this middle weekend of the RBS Six Nations with a flourish.
I do hope Italy can actually give them a game.
Owen Farrell, Saracen on the occasion of his 50th England cap.
I don't like how everyone's nicked Wales' pyro. No. I mean, you know.
Once they've cleared the pitch, we'll be ready for England against Italy.
Well. England, Italy.
ITV's coverage of the RBS Six Nations. Sponsored
As I was saying now,
3000
I haven't actually got a preference on this game. I really couldn't care much about it. It's England, you know, I don't really care much about how England gets on until they play Wales, obviously, and they screwed a fucking win out in the last fucking 10 minutes. I mean, that actually hurt me, that did. But what's called? We got Italy, who in the autumn were playing very well, and I actually thought they come out the gate swinging in the Six Nations, but it hasn't really happened yet. But you know, you never know. Italy could pull off a shock. Don't know. This is rugby. We don't know what's going to happen. But
England looking to continue their winning run there.
What we do know is that
another Grand Slam you can get on to 50-1 on Italy this
England have got all the Dukes. They've still got Scotland and Ireland to play. Wales, France, Italy, we're out of it. We're out of it. And I actually am backing either Scotland or England, and I'm actually gonna back Scotland because Ireland, obviously, they got England and Wales. No, and I got back Wales to beat Ireland, but also I want to back Ireland to beat England. So, you know. So I'm gonna go for Scotland to win it. Be nice.
What a gory. Treviso 9, Treviso 10, and Treviso 12 as well. The axis between the forwards and the backs today is a familiar one for Italy, and gory with the first clearing kick into the arms of Mike Brown. Harlequins fullback. White again for England, and Farrell, the half-century man, looking for a little bit of space in front of Eduardo Tadavani. Debut at fly half against England in Rome 12 months ago, and he's now positioning himself at fullback again. He's worked that up to halfway nicely on forward under some pressure from Tadavani, but the ball came forward off the hands of the Italian. There's Haskell.
England got off lucky there. That could have been a messy one if they didn't have the advantage.
Andrea Lavotti. Danny Kerr first testing kick. That breeze will be a problem, and it was swirling around, and Tommaso Allen got himself in a little bit of a pickle.
A little bit of a pick-up. Jesus Christ.
Back on that, the advantage has gone. We'll have heard Romain Poit tell us.
Back wide.
Good one.
Again, Gory. Again, Brown. Hit quickly by Giordano Battista.
What's called? They were talking earlier about the promotion demotion thing. Get rid of the last person in the Six Nations. Bring up Georgia or Romania or Russia, whoever's the best out of them lot. But I don't think that should happen. I reckon Georgia have earned the right to actually put in an application to join the Six Nations. They've earned that right, and I would like to see Georgia in there with us, maybe expand the Six Nations, because it could work. I know it's the whole thing with time cost and everything, but it could work. It could work if they chuck another 2 teams in it. And I'd rather see Georgia and Romania join it than see Canada or the US join it. Just quite frankly, that'll take the piss and I'll travelling to fucking the US and Canada and that. And it'll take the piss for them as well, because all their away games you have to travel quite a bit.
Conclusion, I think the side of the ambition is we want to play with today. They will run it as often as they can, and Appignaro is a really hefty ball carrier. Penalty against Nathan Hughes, and this is eminently kickable.
Take the 3 points, boys.
A poor penalty from an England perspective, given away by Nathan Hughes there, but good to see from the Italian perspective. Campagnaro getting into the game really early on. This is where it is. No release, off his feet. Simple shot, and this is exactly what the Italians will want. We've had a couple of bad weeks of performances, been written off in the press. Come out here, start positively, and now an opportunity for Luke McLean to get some points on the board.
A group of players, if they're still really searching for their voices in this season's championship. They were beaten by Wales when they led at half-time, beaten by Ireland, and in all truth they were never in it. This season away, lost hope here. Lost by 30 points here 2 years ago. 41 points in Rome last February, so if you're looking for a kind of task, what an opportunity for us to season Six Nations. Have the opportunity here to strike a person.
This will definitely help it. Just settle those nerves, knowing that England will come out of the blocks. Eddie Jones spoke about a faster start. Well, England a little bit sloppy. The drop ball from Nathan Hughes, a poor penalty. Italy have actually controlled the tempo of the game fairly well. We're only 4.5 minutes into it, but a lovely opportunity for them to get points on the board early on.
This is Tommaso Allen. So Allen Palmer today on the bench. It's never on target. 5 minutes remains pointless. There's Conor O'Shea, Irishman breathing familiar Southwest London air again. He spent 6 years across the road looking after Harlequins at Hugo. Welcome to the Premiership title here in 2012. He was at the Stoop a couple of nights ago watching his old team. He knows the roads around this place, but he's trying to guide Italy down some unfamiliar ones at the moment.
Certainly he's got a tough job on his hand, but as I've said, they've started brightly. England could do getting some ballast up front, stopping them on the game line, getting out their half.
Steady. Beyond the tackle. This is Marco Fuzzer, 6'6", which makes him the tallest player in the Italian team. Overly blessed with height, which becomes a problem for them at line-out time. They'll have to improvise a little bit, but they're enjoying some
settling times with the ball at the moment. And here goes Eduardo Gori, becoming as regular a starter as old Alessandro Troncon was in his prime. 37, no introduction.
Just think if they're going to make any real ground more than a metre at a time, they need to get it out past that first ball carrier. Here we go.
Elliot Daly was up quickly for England. Daly stationed on the left wing again today.
Holding on, and off his feet. Let the ball down, let the ball down.
It's great to see England actually find themselves in a spot above the defensive capability of Elliot Daly to spot that read, come in, make a really good hit, and it wasn't just any kind of hit, it was an effective hit which allowed for Maritoje to do what he does very well.
This kind of defence, Maritoje straight over the top, supporting his own body weight, unlike Nathan Hughes 2 minutes ago. Gets his mitts on that ball, incredibly strong.
I show you the line, I told you the line, you stay on the line. You stay on the line, please. Hey, line.
They never stay on the line.
The referee's taking no bullshit now, yeah. Stay on the line.
They're already edging in now.
Three people.
Step to the right as well.
Play on! Play!
Help the reacquisition of the ball.
Parise's fully a metre and a half over the line.
Well, that wasn't straight.
4 to 3! 4 to 3! 4 to 3!
What they've got to do as they told from Ampois, the referee, told them exactly what they wanted.
And I'm looking after the referee. You can play if you want.
Well, they're going for a scrum.
I think England are just testing them. They're testing their lineup, they're going to test this scrum by fucking hell, what a party. That's not good. Right, I'll be back 2 seconds. Need some back here.
Especially on the right behind, on this side here behind Dan Cole. As he jams his head in between a prop and a hooker, there's just more weight on that side to put the strongest fella on the right.
Fine.
Quite liking how Elliot Daly's just loitering in behind George Ford. Montero, an obvious target, but brilliant disguise as well. Elliot Daly coming around that corner can add the extra speed and width which England are looking for.
Lugo, you should know by now that when you talk about what's going to happen after a scrum, the ball never comes out. Really good scrummaging from Italy. Andrea Lavotti on the loose head for Italy. Blue one, lots of power, really highly thought of in Italy. Just got stuck into Dan Cole then and got a nudge on.
Contest on the other side as well between Marler and Cittadini, who had a few words with each other at the end of it, but immediately under pressure from Lavotti.
Really nice here. You can see Dan Cole starting to go backwards, and in that shoulder just comes in. You could argue the blue shoulder slides under him first, but if you're going backwards you're going to get pinged.
Hey, White.
Lavotti, who has had just the first 2 rounds. Samson Lee and Ty Furlong had a successive weekend. He's now got Dan Cole, so it's not getting any easier. These are the tests. So we secure the line-out.
I'm back.
From Stain. The unfortunate Maxime and Vander today. A bit more height in the line-out that we've talked about. And this time, Dan Cole doubles up on the penalties.
Nick, I've got to say, it's actually been quite a sloppy start for England. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
The drop ball.
You know why it's been a sloppy start? Because England are not playing well, they're playing shit. As I said, they fluked the win against Wales, they fluked the win against France. They're not playing well.
White 3, there he is. He's come straight through the middle. For me, there's nothing wrong with what he's done, but the referee's obviously screaming to him. There he is, coming the side. He's not allowed to go in there, so he doubled up on his errors. I think as you give away a penalty, you instantly want to make an impact, sometimes go too far.
Attacking Italian line-out. Again, doing what they can with a bunch of forwards who aren't the tallest, and again they pick out Stain for what he can offer. It wasn't straight. Both hookers now have line-outs that we'll probably rather forget. Or now Jager with the latest.
I'm clearly not going to be talking about line-outs, Nick, but what I will say is that when Italy are offered opportunities like what they've had in these 10 minutes, and as poor as England have been, and sloppy at least, a penalty at the post, you've got to take that. A line out 5 minutes from England's line, you've got to make more of it. Unforced errors have given England an outcome.
Come together. Come together. won't manage you all the game about the lineup. You take the mark, you open the gap, and I don't want to see something or to make something afterwards. Okay? Understood? Sure. There is
Still Eddie Jones, first name on the team sheet. Told us this week there was some thought that Jamie George might start, but he isn't. It's the captain.
away now, blue
And
6.
secure possession. This is Nathan Hughes. 22 ball carries in Cardiff last weekend. Only CJ Standers clocked up more over the first 2 weekends. Billy Vunipola for England today. Mako Vunipola is on the bench, however. The prop is Brother and Parise under a lot of pressure from Daly. Stepped through that hit. Opportunity is a very good chaser of the high ball.
Certainly is. Nathan Hughes going to have to defuse this ball as Parise chase it, but a lot of pressure being put on these kicks. Love seeing them contest the ball.
That was interesting. We thought that Italy would have one or two things up their sleeves, and it's not a ruck, it's only a tackle. And Italy are therefore flooding the other side of the line, Hugo.
I spoke to Conor O'Shea about the game plan they were having. He said, just make sure you understand your laws, and Italy's certainly well adept at it. It's only a tackle if 2 players from each side aren't contesting a ruck, and hence why they're allowed to be offside and are now in game of possession.
Oh, that's a shame.
It was lost by Lavotti's knock-on, but that's fascinating. That is an intelligent way of looking at these things, and England have...
I'm liking the way Italy are playing this at the moment. That's sneaky, that's clever.
Daly goes on a weavy run. Forward. Some distance as well, so Allen had time to position himself. We'll put him under some pressure. George Ford once more.
Straight at.
This is what we're talking about. A ruck is when one member from each team actually able to compete. No one from Italy in that ruck. Therefore, it's just a tackle. Therefore, there's no offside line. Hence why Parise is able to stand in that position. And you can see from the England players slightly bewildered by this. And
it's brilliant.
Physically, fitness-wise, but thinking-wise, they're going to have to think a bit different, aren't they?
And if the ruck formed,
Italy, you're playing very sneaky at the moment, boys. I fucking love it. I love it. You're confusing the fuck out of England. Fucking brilliant, boys.
So if you can put the players wherever they want.
Absolutely, and I think throughout the game they're going to try and find these little ways to bend the laws just to keep England on their toes and get them thinking about it and make them uncomfortable.
Well, that's been lost. Forward to Farrell and now Brown. They haven't played any of their cards yet in this match, and we've played the best part of a quarter of an hour.
Oh, mate. How bad does he feel now? How bad does that guy feel right now?
Well, there we saw Eduardo Gori penalised being offside, and that's the other side of it. When Italy are really disciplined and they send nobody except the tackler into that tackle situation, there is no offside line. They can go wherever they like and cause absolute chaos. When a ruck is formed, there's a ref called then as this ball goes too long from England. Got to stay onside.
We talked about the first 40 minutes against France being the worst 40 minutes in Eddie Jones' England tenure up to that point. This first 15 minutes here is matching it in terms of errors. It's just not working for them at the moment.
It's been poor, and a lot of it's actually just been unforced errors. I think the simple thing for England to do, as simple as it is from when you're not actually on the pitch, is just to get a really good exit, get out of your half, just execute something really well. This scrum, focus on that, put the pressure on them. Faz, hit someone at the game line, get that emotional level up, get people excited once again, but for the next 5 or 6 minutes, focus on your job and do it as good as you can.
This is where Joe Marler wants to get the left-hand side of the England scrum up so that Gori, the Italian 9, cannot attack right where all of his players are so easily.
Battle for the airspace over the ball, but their efforts to get over it. Drop. The reason for the penalty, David.
From up here, it looked exactly like England had dropped it. They were definitely being more aggressive. Italy looked to hit and hold, so that Gori, their 9, had a solid platform from which to attack. England went for it, slipped underneath the Italians. That's the right call for me.
Italy are doing them at the moment. Fair play.
See Cittadini, the blue 3 on this side. He's the one who slips. It's not Joe Marler on this side who's been penalised. It's Dan Cole, English 3. He may have slipped also, but maintaining traction is part of scrummaging.
We've now conceded 3 penalties at set pieces. 2 at the scrum, 1 at the line-out. Parise gathers it at the front, brought down carefully by his Italian lifters. Nathan Hughes got his mitts in there to try and disturb things. This is
Come on, Italy.
Come
on, boys.
It on. Good options here, right hand. Pass really was what nobody wanted apart from Ben Teo. Oh, that's nice by
That was lovely.
For the first time, can offer some threat on their own and put some pressure on Tommaso Allen. That's a very handy option to have inside centre. Luke McLean, who's played at fly half, played at fullback, he can get his team out of difficulty, and he did there. Farrell trucks it up. Another penalty.
I just think a couple of poor options.
England, what's wrong with you boys?
He's exactly the sort of player that will recover from
Yeah.
that. But it was a beautiful, sumptuous offload out the back from Elliot Daly, all class. Not a well executed kick by Farrell. For me, that was the wrong option. There were far too many Italians there to start counter-attacking.
This is the opportunity here. Lovely handling, bit of footwork from Benteo, but this offload from Daly, and then a great option to get the ball back into Italy's half. They actually recover really well, send the ball back into England's half, hence getting the pressure back to England. A slight fumble and you think, compose yourself, get rid of the ball, chooses to run it out, but just the cleaners aren't quite there with them. Another penalty to Italy. And I don't want to sound disrespectful to Italy at all. They've played really well, they've harassed people, they're playing with the passion which Supply Woodward was talking about before the game. But with these amount of opportunities which you're being presented 18 minutes into the game, this penalty has to go over.
It has to. It's got to go over.
Never beaten them. On the Six Nations team, they haven't got the better of it. Been close. 4 points of them in Rome a couple of times, 7 here at Twickenham 4 years ago. There's another long-range opportunity to move 3 points ahead.
Oh.
He's missed 2. Neither of them been overly easy, but at this level, Hughes.
At this level, those got to go over. It should be 6-0. The Fleets are a team for everything, all the effort they put into it, they've got nothing to show.
You gotta fucking get those over, Italy. Those chances and that. All it's going to take is one little break from England. That's how dangerous they've been so far.
He's under a lot of pressure from Farrell, and he's got plenty of height on that. And Brown had to come from a long way. Cole swept things up, and Nathan Hughes then brings it away. Once again, Italy not competing at the breakdown, so it doesn't become a ruck.
Yeah, really good intelligent play. England need to react to it. The one thing you can do is if you're the tackle player or cleaner, get an Italian on the floor, hence making it a ruck, and then you've got a stable platform.
It's more better game manager Conor O'Shea thinks right now than Carlo Cano. That's the reason that Tommaso Allen is starting. It's the opportunity just to give Cano, for a couple of tough weekends, the opportunity to sit in the stands at the beginning of this contest and just see the bigger picture, just to breathe a little bit. He's got a wonderful future, Hugo, but they've just taken him out the front line initially in this contest.
You're absolutely right, Nick, for all of those reasons. Cano, a wonderful player for a bright future, but let's face it, taking a bit of a hammer in the last 2 weekends, emotionally as well as physically. Takes him out the limelight a little bit. Tommaso Allen, a really good, composed player that can put them in the right places. And you've got to say, for the opening ball to the match, he's certainly done that.
Hugely encouraging first 20 minutes for Italy.
Yeah, but they should be 6-0 up.
And again, it was meant for Stay, who's brought in to provide that line-out option. We've been talking about it.
They should be 6-0 up.
By Courtney Laws. Brilliant in this championship so far, really rediscovered his old zest. Naro Itoje scored in the red cap. I think tackle only might be a familiar phrase in that French accent of Romonpoix as this match wears on. Again, you can see Gorey just sticking around and getting in Danny Care's carriageway. Well, this is a problem England wouldn't have had to deal with, I suspect, in a long, long time.
Causing carnage, Nick. They weren't expecting this, they can't have prepared for it.
Here come England.
This is Tio and May, and they try to smuggle it gently between them. But not quite, but the first time
boys.
England have threatened anything ball in hand.
Yeah, the difference in their attacking threat there was brilliant. Look at them get over the gain line instead of taking the ball.
Listen to this.
There's no outside line.
They're tackling and they're going in and then getting out. That's why
No, there's no contact. It's not a form. I can understand the frustration, but this is the law. I'm telling when it's a ruck. When there's no ruck, just play on, okay? I can understand.
And do you know what would have happened before this match? Coaches talk to referees. They do the old FaceTime bit every now and again, and you can be absolutely sure that Conor O'Shea would have been saying to Romonpoix before this match, this is what we're going to do.
That's it. Well, England have had 22 minutes of it. Okay, it's no longer going to be a surprise. The way in which you deal with it, that's what you need to focus on. And for me, the tackler, whoever's assisting, get the Italian person into that ruck, make it a ruck, and then you can play.
England with a decent scrum splintered Italy's efforts and made this ball less than clean. Fuzet. Trying to create a solid platform for Gorey to clear this, and in their efforts to do that, Sergio Parisse flew in off his feet, David.
And this is where England are going to go 3 points up.
On the England loose, they're putting all sorts of pressure onto the Italian tight head Lorenzo Cittadini, popped him up, drove him backwards, scrappy from there.
Oh, they're going for the corner.
Back on the front foot from there.
Murmur of appreciation from those inside Twickenham as England go for the line-up.
On the far side, you'll see blue 3. You won't see it now, but he pops up in the air, and as soon as he's up, you're not strong.
Itoje, chosen man, brings it down, and Dylan Hardy will roll around and
here they go.
hands on the ball or drive whoever has it at the moment on it. Marco Fuzet was shoved out of the way. England within sight of the line, and they've got it over. Brute strength in the end puts England ahead. After Italy had enjoyed the best of the opening 20 minutes. But it looks like it's down cold, and England lead 5-0.
You see White 3 bolting on at the back here, that's Dan Cole, gets his hand on the ball, doesn't do a huge amount in the way of pushing in that position. He needs the other guys do the pushing for him while he steers it, nicks himself over the line. That could be the fastest he'd ever crossed the try line for a try, mind you. 0.3 miles an hour. But he'll take it. However you get over, get over. Strong work from England. And once you get that motoring, it's so hard to stop.
He's overtaken Phil Vickery now. Only Jason Leonard has won more England caps in the front row. He doesn't score that often, which is why the celebration wasn't overly elaborate. He's not had too many opportunities to develop it. But
oh, here he goes. He does look like a thick twat, doesn't he? And he's going to take the kick. Oh.
It's fair to say that having celebrated his 50th cap before the match, it's in some distance off Owen Farrell's best performance so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure we can blame that on Storm Dogs either. But either way, that try there from England, that shows you exactly what it is to play international rugby. One opportunity, one try. That's where England are so strong so far this tournament.
Stay white!
Knocked away by Danny Care. It was not a thing of beauty, but it found touch.
let off for Italy that was a poor restart. It was aimless, it was long to one of England's best clearance kickers who for once miskicked it. He'll be very upset with that. Just too easy to gather for England.
This is Bornel Jaeger, first Albanian-born player to feature in the Six Nations. Came to Italy as a 9-year-old. Picked up a foot injury, by the way, before the match. That's why he's not starting. He'll be just joining us.
That was a long way off straight, that line out. I think he's nervous, Jaeger. Line out's not going well, this drive is though.
Jaeger was at the centre of it, and he lays it back for Gory. Looking to relight a few fires that they've got going early on. Relight the fire. Took it up, but England have won it back.
He must release. He must release.
Legally.
Must release it and play the ball in the second time.
Luke McLean is to drive us as close to the corner flag, the touch flag as he can, which gives us time to go down to Martin Bayfield on the touchline, who has news, Martin.
Yes, a rather frustrated Eddie Jones just appeared from his perch midway up as the West Stands come down to the England bench and had quite a heated conversation with the players. They're clearly not happy with this very lacklustre start to England's game.
I'm not surprised he's not happy. This is a game that England should absolutely batter.
By Parise. England were sacking the Italian captain, and they'll have another penalty, Italy.
Well, Itoji's some athlete, and he's so easy to get up. Playing the man in the air, says Roman Park referee. Absolutely the right call. Mauro Itoji's been up nicely on Italian ball. If you're beaten to it, you've got to let it go till you land.
The banner for Skyland on it.
Watch games in the 1970s, and these lineouts were absolute bun fights. It was the shootout at the OK Corral, but you can't, once the players are airborne these days, David, for safety reasons, interfere with them in any way.
And it's that left arm, you see, Mauro's left arm there, hooking the player, can't do it in the air.
Italy have set this up nicely. From Stain trying to drive it. Very lively ball in hand right now, and
let it go, Blue! Let it go!
Ball's been lost forward. It's within smelling distance of the try line.
It's unfortunate.
Fraser has hurt himself in that latest drive. It's a bit of a dusty corner here. They're going to have to work hard to get themselves out of it.
Yeah, we saw the problems in at the Principality just a couple of weeks ago in that corner. But England using that firepower just to create a platform for Danica, who undoubtedly will look to find touch.
Hughes was hit back well by Simone Favaro. England treading water here at the moment.
England are shitting themselves.
Under control. Managed to get the ball away, but they've only made 5 metres. So there's a lot of huff and puff for not a lot of ground, but at least it's safe.
I think what England are trying to do here, the ball gets knocked on eventually here, and I think Mauro Itoje, there he goes. How about those for reactions when you're 6'6"? Standing in the slips. A difficult corner to get out of. England just wanted to get a couple of ball carries in, send a couple of the big fellas in, including Mauro Itoje.
Pulling a player is not right for me. Okay? Pulling back the
These reaction areas at the moment, you've got to say, no one would expect that open in half an hour. 72% of possession to be played in England's half.
They're still complaining. England is still complaining.
England are telling everyone that they're nowhere near as good as they want to be.
No, they're not.
They've not been overly happy with their Six Nations performances so far, despite the results.
I can't say.
No other England side's ever managed 16 in a row. Not far now off New Zealand's 18, but this is a right old handful for them.
Yeah, James Haskell just asked Roman Pratt there, what do you want me to do if it's not a ruck? And he just said, I'm a referee, not a coach. And that's the great point. Stop whinging about it, get on with it, fix it.
Have it Brian Cole.
Now backward, playing, attacking team, Blue.
think it's fascinating, this tactic. We
Yeah,
call it
yeah,
combo
right.
chase tactic. Don't know who came up with it. This Italian tactic around the tackle area. What's equally fascinating is how England deal with it. I think Oops is dead right. They've got to grab any blue jerseys they can see, grab them and fling them in there before everything calms down to turn it into a ruck.
Let's call it Rock Light.
Ruck
Or
light.
Rock 3.
I'm loving the Italians at the moment. This little tactic and now with the ruck is brilliant.
Cole's try. Driven over the line. All England have to show.
But don't forget, when we saw England once break down the right with Benteo almost feeding Johnny May, that was when the Italians, Agori and co, were flooding through saying tackle only, tackle only. You get the ball past them and you've got a load of defenders out of position trying to cause carnage, and there are holes if you can get the ball away.
Attacking Italian scrum. Agori, who worked his way over the Wales line on the first weekends. He had that wonderful first half at the Olympico. He's doing what he can to try and lever that pack forward, and now they are moving forward, and Parise picks it up and he's shoved out of play, but it's another penalty and Parise takes it quickly. England need to be aware, and Italy are thinking sharply at the moment. This is
Yeah, got it me.
the ball splits between Gorey and he rather speculatively tried to find his captain, which he did in the end, but it was a heart in the mouth moment. To Cittadini. Plenty of friends during his time in England with Wasps. Has been kicked out, but obviously with the wherewithal to gather things up. International told just to retreat a little bit to make sure he's behind that offside line.
This is actually where England have looked most comfortable defensively, just making those big hits, simplifying it, and getting Italy on the back foot. They saw their discipline out on that side of the ball. They seem to be pretty comfortable.
This is his front sculpting. Antonaro held up by a combination of Teo and Ford. The Italian man did really well, let go of the ball and then regathered it legally. This is Jaeger.
Italy need quicker ball. They need to do more than just running into defenders. This is meat and drink for England.
What kind of Arnie do? That's neat.
Just a right, just a tackle, sorry.
Cittadini. Back by Sculpit. Who's there waiting, but it's going to come back instead for Allen, who drives it between the posts for the drop goal. A welcome return.
So go fucking time you got fucking points on the board.
A familiar old friend back with us. And Italy, the very least they deserve are these 3 points off the boot of the fly half Tommaso Allen.
Lovely strike that from Allen. Never looked like missing. But he's got that because England are on the back foot and he's got time to kick it. They're not on the back foot because they're sending big units into England's big units. They're on the back foot because typically, as soon as I said they weren't doing anything particular with the ball once it came out, they got Padovani, nipped the fullback near a breakdown, twinkle toes, made some yards. England straight on the back foot and there's space. Just be more creative.
What I like about that drop goal from Tommaso Allen is he's missed a couple of penalties, could have quite happily knocked his confidence, but he saw his Italian side weren't going anywhere. England's defence was on top, and he found himself in the pocket. Good leadership, great execution, and it gives them something to actually play for, something to sing about for all the hard work.
Jones took players into central London this week after the Wales win. Checked out the usual Surrey hotel, had a few nights in Kensington, training session in Hyde Park.
I don't think we should call it the Wales win. I think really they gotta call it a absolute fucking fluke.
Used to train in a prefab hut in my day, Dick. And this Kensington malarkey.
Watched by royalty. What's the game gone?
Well, Mike Zimmer used to watch it, same thing. He never trained.
Yeah, for sure.
He was challenging Scotland for that ball. But he'll need to try and run out with it.
On the line, White.
It's Hughes. Around the attempted tackle of Wendy.
Tackle only.
Again, tackle only.
Brilliant from Nathan Hughes. There's no tackle on the floor. Tackle only get up and go. He's not held. Why not? Keep the Italian defenders honest.
This is Cole and this is May.
You see what England have done now, because they're not sure whether it's a tackle or a ruck, they're actually just targeting, getting really tight, rather than not understanding who's offside and chucking these speculative passes, more of a direct approach. You can see Roman Pratt, hands in the air, and that means the ball's out.
It's now a ruck, so Italy had to stay behind the offside line, and this is Haskell. Care calling for it. Forward to his left, it's popped up, but it was Cantagnaro who got there first and hammered away.
Back in.
Brown not cleanly the first time, but he'll get a second bite. Gory. Tangled up with Owen Farrell as he went beyond him. Gore is still down, prone on the far side. What's happening to this kick? Which side of the flag will it go? The wrong side from an England perspective. The wrong side from Sergio Parisse and Italy's.
22. All stop. 22.
But,
All stop. 22.
there's still some concern for Eduardo Gori, who just got caught up in the thorns.
No,
As, he chased his own kick and went beyond Farrell.
Time off. I am having a look.
So here it is. Gory sends the ball up. That's nothing from Farrell. He's allowed to hold his line. Gory's gone down.
Okay, he's running to his shoulder. He stood still.
Oh my word, yeah, that's nothing. He's gone down quicker than a big lad on the seesaw. Get up, crack on.
George Ayew, by the way, that Australian voice that you heard. It's the middle weekend of the RBS Six Nations. 2 more weekends to come after this as it builds towards its crescendo. A fortnight's time here on.
I got back Scotland.
Back in Rome for Italy against France. Kick-off. March the 11th, England against Scotland. Which really didn't need any extra spice adding to it, but Scotland's performance yesterday against Wales has done just that. Actually, see what else live there on this. Giorgio Bronzini.
In contact above the tackler situation.
Once more, Dylan Harvey just checking with Romain Platt what they can do, and Sergio Parisse, who plays his rugby in Paris, speaking in Platt's mother tongue to sort out what they're allowed to do.
He makes contact on the shoulder, but nothing was wrong.
So this is exactly what the problem's actually started. You see Gory straight offside. There's no one committed to that ruck from Italy. Therefore, there is no ruck. It's just a tackle. It's no gain line.
I am a referee. I'm
You
not
can see.
You will find probably the solution with your coach. Who has more ability than me to tell you what you have to do.
A little sly smile there.
If that's all right, there is just an area around the tackle on the ground, making an offside line, and that's it. 2 meters from the road. 1 meter. So we might clear someone out and get him in. But during the tackle, that's a tackle. Right. After.
I've never heard anything like this on a rugby pitch, let alone an international rugby pitch.
You should know the laws. I don't think 35 minutes into a test match you should be clarifying what's a ruck and what's not a ruck.
And as Roman Platt delivered the line of the weekend, I'm a referee, I'm not a coach. They've got to work it out, or you've got to work it out.
Of course, I can imagine what Eddie Jones got set at half-time. That's certainly one of the laws that we worked out.
Restart Gallagher by Joe Launchbury. Monumentally Cardiff Launchbury, man of the match.
Same on, just one stop.
They've been able to find any of their own rhythms so far. They've got the only try of the game. 5 minutes before the break, they've not really got going yet.
With England is saying if you want to play those games, we're going to go route one. Lots of picking and going, power game.
Couldn't have the penalty. Fabaro was collapsing see that more than it's. Marla. Also doing what he can. Lays it back to Care.
Oh, beautiful turn.
Starting to pick up the drumsticks.
Oh.
Danny Care with a flourish. Tadavani there, and he did really well to call for the mark under immense pressure.
That is quite brilliant play, not just only from Danny Care, and that's certainly why he's there to start, to pick up those holes when the game gets disjointed, completely sells himself, and Tadavani's all in the ice. He sees Danny shaping, he manages to get on the turn, not only then, but take that clean. Brilliant, brilliant skill from both players involved. But you've got to say, for as flat as England may have been and how imposing Italy have been, it's not been their first half which has been a problem. It's them after, in the second half, and how they're going to react when they come out of the sheds.
It's fascinating how England are going to deal with this. One of the things you heard James Haskell say, so if I grab someone and get him in there to ruck, and it's quite an agricultural approach, but it will. Have a look at this carry from Courtney Law. They're lining up Nathan Hughes. Okay, it's only a couple of metres, but look how much backpedaling there is from the Italians.
England have started singing.
Really, really good footwork.
Like nails on a
Blue
chalkboard.
3 has him lined up. That could be a high tackle these days, couldn't it? Has him lined up, but 6'7" with footwork, all sorts of damage.
Quickly. Please leave by this way.
To work out in whose mind this plan was developed. Maybe him, Brendan Fenn, to talk this weekend that he might be going back to South Africa to work with Alistair Coates here in the Springboks. But he's come in as the defensive consultant, and he's a very big voice in this Italian squad right now, and he's the kind of imaginative coach that may well have thought about it.
Absolutely. I think within any game, whatever level, you've got to find out an area where you can compete. And if you can beat players mentally, and that's exactly what the Italians have managed to find themselves so far.
It's been the Six Nations 40 minutes like few others in recent memory. So, a fascinating, if slightly bizarre contest.
I think everyone's expected a try fest. We certainly might get that in the second half, but it's been more traditional. There's been one where you're probably looking at your law book more so than you're actually looking at the rugby this first half, but either way it's been entertaining.
Haskell takes it on, and then Hughes. Staying in there doing what he can. Care starting to buzz it. This is the wasn't it? Held on by Brown under some pressure. England pressing on the cusp of half-time, looking for a second try. Scored by Dan Cole. Care and Haskell was there. The ball's been lost. And Campagnaro flings it to Parise. And Italy might fancy themselves on the counter-attack here. And this is Allen. And now the break for Bazzetti. We barely mentioned the Italian right wing, such as been their work elsewhere.
Oh!
And it breaks through an
Oh!
break from Van Schalkwyk. And Italy have been exposing England's defence. And once more, Care got there. Ricochets around, and Italy still have it. Cittadini. Campagnaro. Tio coming up quickly to slow him down. Italy penalty. And they've got a kick in front of the posts that may well give them the lead goal.
Ooh, come on Italy!
That was a wonderful break from Van Schalkwyk. England's retreating defence, they galloped back. They were just getting their breath. Thank you. It's Cittadini has Haskell lined up and Campagnaro goes. How about that? Sees a hole straight through it.
Elbow on the ground.
Did well to recover this ball. It's just they had to be creative, and Ben Teo flew up the wonderful piece of defence. But there's Nathan Hughes. You can see the elbows, the forearms hit the floor. He's not supporting his own body weight. You can't do that. You can't just flop on it. Right call from the referee.
It was, and that's Nathan Hughes' probably his third penalty this half. That's England's 9th penalty. You kind of want to keep yourself under 10, really, for any international game. 9 in the first half just goes to show the pressure which Italy have put England under. and shows exactly where the game's been played. And let's face it, with 25 seconds to go, if Italy was to knock this over and make it 5-6, you've got to tip your hat to them and say they're worthy for their slender lead.
Start.
Oh my God! You jammy Italians! You jammy Italians! Oh my God! Oh!
He's doing the basics brilliantly, chasing every kick like it means something. Standing around thinking it's done. Venditti piles in, classic win play, well done.
Well, this is it. Conor O'Shea, he's come with a plan, come with a purpose. And you can see exactly what it means to the Italian players.
He's got to get this kick, surely. Maybe that was another one of Brendan Venter's little tactics.
Maybe that's just the plan, who knows? And he does nail the easiest kick of the lot. Italy lead at half-time. Off the posts, but the quickest to respond, Gianbattista Venditti, who scored a try in the historic win.
You jammy Italians.
And he's put his team ahead here. England having to find answers to questions of law that they were not having to expect to find answers to. Look at this, half-time at Twickenham. England 5, Italy 10.
ITV's coverage of the RBS Six Nations, sponsored by the new Peugeot 3008 SUV.
My name's Ellie. You called about an attack?
We will find the man who attacked you.
Promise me you have nothing to do with what happened to Trish.
I am not a violent man. I'm scared he's going to do it again.
Broadchurch starts tomorrow at 9 on ITV.
You jammy Italians. You fucking brilliant jammy Italians. I fucking love it, boys. Whee!
These days, everything is fast. And fast is everything. Fast news. Fast food. Fast delivery. Fast dating. Too fast for words. But today's fast needs to be clever fast. The William Hill app is now clever fast. So you can get on with all sport Aqua 5 insurance faster than ever.
Sandra, could you take the customer's measurements, please? Thank you. How exciting. Do you want to stand up really tall? Because I want to get this just right. Very good. I'm just going to check your height, okay? Now, I'm about 5'3", give or take. 5'5", are you about 5'9"? Are you having a veil? Yes. Or maybe about 6 foot with a veil. Lovely. On your right, what's that then?
I'm actually 5'6".
At 12:30 every Friday, around Myrtle Farm, Somerset, there's a moment when time sort of stops. It's the moment the Thatcher's family see if their next vat of apple cider tastes as good as it should, because it's only then that they let it leave the farm. That's why Thatcher's is what cider's supposed to taste like.
There's more than one reason to love the new Bacon Clubhouse Double. There's two. 2 juicy burgers made from 100% British and Irish beef, 2 rashers of Beechwood smoked bacon, and 2 dollops of our exclusive Big Mac sauce.
I can't believe that.
Deliciously crisp lettuce.
I really can't believe the way those Italians just scored that try then.
Tasty grilled onions.
Oh my god.
Served up between 2 halves of a soft brioche style bun. The new Bacon Clubhouse Double for a limited time only from McDonald's.
Introducing the new BMW 5 Series. Ambition raised.
ITV's coverage of the RBS Six Nations, sponsored by the new Peugeot 3008 SUV.
Well, it's the first time that Italy have ever led at half-time here at Twickenham. Sir Clive described England's first 40 minutes against France as the worst under Eddie Jones. I think it might have been supplanted by that.
Yeah, I think that's gone ahead. I mean, to be fair, for a low-scoring game, there's so much to talk about. It's been fascinating game of rugby, mainly based on the rules of what's been going on.
I'll be back in a minute, you two.
Handled it at all well, and certain changes you love to be in. I'd love to be in that England change room now, but so much hype about England. How they're going to get themselves out of this hole now is amazing.
Before we get on to the laws of what is going on at the tackle area, just have a look at the try, because it's very interesting when Alan, who's having a bit of a nightmare place kicking, Johnny, all the England players are looking at the ball. No one is actually looking at any of the Italian players sniffing for the rebound.
I think there's a bit of this is a hangover of the actual energy of that first half. I think the whole confusion element about the rules is starting to tick over into the execution of skills and the precision and the attention to detail and that kind of intensity has just dropped off. So things like that, which it seems strange that all this confusion's going on, and then you get a close goal kick which comes slap off the post. Again, that's slightly unusual. All these things are coming in at once, and it's highlighting that England need to flip the tables on this and make it their advantage somehow.
Right, great coaching. Kick at the bar.
Kick at the bar, yeah.
That's world-class coaching.
Get 7 instead of 3, yeah.
One thing that is great coaching is that when you've conceded over 90 points in 2 games, we talked about this, you've got to come up with a strategy that allows damage limitation. It's a bit surrenderism from Italy, but it's worked perfectly. I mean, who'd have thought an Eddie Jones side would have been outfought?
Explain to everybody what is going on in the tackle area, because rugby can be quite confusing anyway, Lawrence.
Yeah, ordinarily it'd be a ruck, but in order for it to be a ruck, you need players from both sides to commit to that. What Italy are doing is holding off. They're not committing any players, therefore there is no offside line, there is no tackle line, no ruck line. And what you saw there was 2 or 3 Italian players going far side, England's side of the ball. Look at this. You've got Gori there, and they're well within their rights. Parisi's doing the same. And they're limiting England's options. So England aren't going to pass their way out of it, and it's making England make a decision.
So even though they're not offside, they're allowed to go around and actually block off England options from where they pass the ball.
And you've got to applaud it as a tactic, because it's very rare in international rugby that we see things new coming to the table. This is not something that happens in any game at all. I've seen it once before in Super Rugby last season when the Waikato Chiefs did it, but it's causing utter confusion amongst the players.
If you're confused at home, rest assured, so are the England team. Listen to this.
On the ruck thing, what do we need to do for it to be a ruck?
I can't say. I am the referee, I'm not the coach.
Well, no, we just want to know what the rule was, what the exact rule is.
If there's no ruck, there is just an area around the tackle on the ground, making an offside line, and that's it.
Is it 2 metres from the ruck?
1 meter.
So if we might clear someone out and get him in, that's a ruck.
But during the tackle, that's a tackler.
Right, after.
Not sure they're any clearer. I'm a referee, not a coach.
That was one of the best lines of Six Nations. You can rest your on Haskell's social media tonight and what this is all about, because the interesting thing to me is, if that happens, whatever's happened, what I'd be if I was Eddie, but going, guys, take a time out, someone got really injured, get together, sort this out, because clearly no one's got a clue how to handle this. And we've been talking here some very simple ways what you can do to overcome this, but it's not getting on, and there's complete confusion in the England team.
I think what's been clear about this is premeditated. Okay, Italy, the coaches have gone to the referee Roman Pratt on Thursday or Friday when they had the referees meeting, and they said, we're going to do this in the ruck right from the first minute. Are you okay with that? It's got, yeah.
England have got to come up with a plan now, haven't they?
It's quite easy for us because we're outside the bubble, so we're sitting at this and then we've got our pads out and we're talking through it. But there is stuff that's paying dividends straight away, and actually there's a way of making this very much England's advantage, and it needs to be done immediately after the tackle, because around the tackle, other Italian guys are around the tackle thinking, I need to help this tackle. At some point they're in there and they decide to go out. If you get hold of them before they get out, they are part of the ruck. Now, if you bring them in, you create a ruck and an offside line. If you drive them away, you create massive space for someone like Danny Kerr to run through, which he did at the end. I've got a classic example of that in that half where guys got very quickly to the ruck, took those guys, the Italian guys who were thinking, am I in or out, grabbed them, moved them away. Here it is, you'll see Farrell, so Haskell gets hold of one there, Farrell comes in, gets hold of him there, and look at that space. That's unheard of in English rugby to have that. You're going to get a very quick game if guys are willing to open up to that tactic. Alternatively, as Ryan said, you bring the guys in to slow it down, and that creates a ruck and an offside line, and you can get on with your structured play.
It'll all be going on now in the England change room at half time, that's for sure. Okay, half time, then the second half to come. Fascinating 40 minutes.
Oh, right. 2 seconds, I've got to take this back downstairs.
ITV's coverage of the RBS Six Nations, sponsored by the new Peugeot 3008 SUV.
Four stars, best sausages in town.
Nice. Does it say anything about parking? We're just spinning.
Mr. Greenlight, what? She looks like your mum.
She does. She's got her eyes. And that's how you park in this town. Table for two, please. 2 winners.
Drivers win at Confused.com. Number 1 for car saving.
Logan, what did you do?
Charles, the world is not the same as it was.
News. They're gone now.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel.
Where is she?
You are so.
She's like you. She needs our help.
Someone come along.
Someone has to come along with you.
And you
You'll have it all. My empire will do. I will leave myself. I will find a way.
Logan, you still have time.
Logan, it's almost Wednesday.
Oh yeah, so you know I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there on that.
Can I see?
Wednesday.
What is this?
You're going to say tomorrow?
You are number 985. Thank you for moving. I apologise. You are number 743. Number 124.
Some calls are too important to drop. Keep your promises with Vodafone, the UK's #1 network for voice.
Mate, we are in Droitwich.
We're in Droitwich.
I know I can see you!
At Holiday Inn Express, we take care of what matters inside the hotel, so you can enjoy what matters outside of it.
An irritating itch is hard to ignore. And it can be caused by your powerful antiperspirants. Introducing new and improved Dove Men Plus Care with 48-hour sweat protection and Dove's 1/4 moisturizer technology, especially created for men, is tough on sweat, not on skin.
Meet the new Ford Cougar. How cougar are you? Now with 0% APR representative on 3-year Ford options on selected models.
ITV's coverage of the RBS Six Nations, sponsored by the new Peugeot 3008 SUV.
10-5 to Italy. Confusion reigns amongst the English ranks. What do England do in the second half?
I think firstly, Marco, as Eddie, I'd be winding England forwards up that we've been embarrassed in that first half. That forward pack has been embarrassed by what's going on there. So we want to go and absolutely smash them in the second half, meaning at every ruck, whether they're actually putting members in or not, we're going to just clean them out and have 10 minutes just full on, and just hit ruck after ruck after ruck and try and pull them out and open the doors. Now, Lawrence came up with an interesting theory of what the
If you want to be really mischievous, you go back to actually committing numbers to the ruck and just smash the first 4 or 5 breakdowns and see what happens. But fair play to Italy.
You have to say, so far, genius might be too far, but it's a very shrewd approach, isn't it? Look at the scoreboard.
Smart tactics. It's damage limitation for Italy. They couldn't afford to concede points, and they've done brilliantly so far.
Lots for England to think about. Then let's rejoin David, Udo and Nick.
How many of you were downloading the laws of rugby at half time?
I didn't need to. I didn't need to. I was just laughing. Just laughing, man. Just laughing. That's what I had to do.
Worth reminding ourselves that Italy were 50-1 to win this match this morning. Put it into some kind of perspective. Japan was 70-1 before that World Cup game in Brighton. We will keep a very close eye on what happens over the next 5-10 minutes. This is fascinating. All of us are experiencing stuff we've never seen before, and there they are at it again. Cleared away by George Ford. Taken by the fly half, Tommaso Allen, whose penalty that ricocheted off the post led to the try just before the break, scored by Venditti.
I do hope it could be. Sorry, I was just on Twitter then. Can Italy do it? I do hope so. I do fucking hope so. Their tactic and that try, that was beautiful. I love it. I really do.
Wonderful runner of the ball, sees the space and then the execution, bounce and roll. A lovely start for England.
The second Elliot Daly got that, you knew a sumptuous kick was coming, and it came. That was quite beautiful.
Algega, Giraldini crying off before the match with a foot injury if you're just joining us. There's a lot of dancing going in front of Ornell Jager, who's showing no interest whatsoever in throwing the ball in, Joss. Yeah. How long it's going to be, Hugo, before Jack Noel comes on? We were pointing to him. He's having deep conversation with Eddie Jones just before the start of the second half.
Yeah, just before the start of the second half, he spoke to him as well as Mako and Tom Wood, and he seems to have taken the strip off. We'll be seeing him very shortly, no doubt.
One by Marco Fuzet. Helped ease Marco Bortolami out of the test picture a few years ago. And now in that Italian second row.
Really personal.
We saw England in the first half compounding one error of another, and they've just backed up one positive with another. A lovely kick from Elliot Daly to the line out, set piece immaculate, turnover from Marito, just made an absolute mess of this. Gives England a great platform, attacking platform, to make some damage.
Italy, they're desperate to get the ball to the floor so it can be called a ruck. Maro got himself around that ball, stopped it hitting the deck, became a more unplayable turnover. Well done, England.
Not too many scrums. This is just the second one they've had. The first led to a penalty, and they've got the show on here. Italy's scrum splintering, second scrum, second penalty. And it's gone against Andrea Lavotti.
It's gone against Lavotti.
Oh, hang on, they've gone quickly. Care will go through.
No? Alright, I'll give him that. I'll give him that. That was quite smart.
It's much more like it from their point of view. Danny Kerr with the try.
Yeah, very good play. Danny Kerr, the guy that adds that tempo. Just before half-time, we're worried about England not reacting to anything. Well, Danny Kerr,
He reacted to that, but I'll give him that.
He's taken it upon himself, and I tell you what, you tap from 10 metres, you make sure that you score. And when you're that quick and you've got that ability, that's exactly what you produce. A brilliant start for England.
Now can Farrell get this over? We shall see.
Farrell, 50th cap today for England. Got one for the Lions, 5 years on from his debut as a fresh-faced 20-year-old at Norwich. To wrestle back the lead.
There's a post over there. No one goes to kick it over there. Ooh, he's pulled it.
Nobody's found kicking a particularly easy business today. There is a little bit of breeze if we're looking to offer some excuses, but no stopping this try.
Well, we wondered for the Venditti try, are England alive? Are they awake? They are alive. Danny Kerr, the arch sniper, must have been organic oranges at half-time, come out super sharp.
And gets us back underway. England push back into their 22 and launch free.
You see Launchbury purposely not looking to take contact and go to ground, but set up this rock. Gets their England 8 in tight. Ties in the Italian defence, and it gives Danny Kerr the option to either box kick or now it's Italy are tight. Draw a penalty.
Dead right, Hugo. First kick off of the half. I wonder what Launchbury was doing, effectively backing into the Italians. They're definitely trying to keep that ball off the floor so the Italians can't implement this new innovative, I don't think it's a cynical tactic, I think it's innovative. I love watching England, how they're going to react to it. He's trying to keep it off the deck. Very clever.
Exactly here. He's a big ball carrier, but he's not looking to make any real contact. Joe Marler, Danko latched on, Dylan Hartley. Here comes the cavalry. Easy penalty.
Farrell, Haskell. Ball does go to ground, so it means that Bronzini, the new scrum half who came on in the first half for Gorey, and Sergio Parise can swamp England, get them in their fishing net. Tojic in nicely to find Haskell. That was really smart, and Haskell bursting his way through and pushing that blue line backwards, and Kerr wants it quickly, which he has, and here goes Laws. England into the 22, that was neat, and Kerr
that was tidy. Right.
England had two in a couple of minutes.
This is always the worry.
Problem maybe not yet solved totally, but every sign that they're getting to grips with it.
That's the offload there from Itoje to Haskell. Here's the footwork from the big fella. McLean can't get hold of him. There's another offload coming out the back in a minute from George Ford. Have a look at that. Tio knows to give it to the gas man. It's an easy finish from Daly. England are smashing them to bits through the middle. If the Italians want to fan out and spread out, they're giving it to the big men to go for the middle, using the pace out the back.
I tell you, one way to make the ruck not a problem is to create no ruck, and they're offloading 1, 2, 3. If there is no ruck, there is no problem. And when you've got pace finishers, offloaders, what England possess.
Like Farrell, you gotta kick this now, bud. You go.
For 2 in 2 games.
There we go.
Yes, Daly with the most dramatic of lifesavers in Cardiff, and finally a conversion of his try a fortnight later.
This is it, just keeping the ball off the floor, moving the Italian defence, but the intensity, the urgency, the detail. Talk about the Italians and them out thinking England in the first half. With the opening 7.5 minutes, England's detail and execution has been pretty much perfect.
Launchbury once more.
Oh my God.
He doesn't take the tackle, he just runs straight through them. Joe Launchbury has made 30 metres.
I think he made more than 30 metres, man.
And Italy have got to rethink this a little bit. They're being shredded here, and Tio has it. And here goes Kerr, and now Farrell, and now Brown. England all of a sudden, within 10 minutes
England have come alive.
Going for the bonus point.
Yeah, brilliant play. It's all about that intensity, and Italy can't actually deal with it.
Oh.
It's been intercepted and picked up nicely by Van Skolvik. some release. Tommaso Allen goes long, and it's picked up by the try scorer Daly. Well, lost in all the mayhem of 2 weeks ago that his try was England's 900th in the Championship in Principality Stadium. For obvious reasons, it wasn't referenced much. Ford to Brown. Got a nice spider along to the arms of Talavani, who was well positioned.
Cymru!
It's almost a relief to have one of these old-fashioned kicking contests. We've had our minds on other things in this match so far.
It's just a little bit of what I call rugby sparring. Italy didn't want to do anything from behind, but I tell you, one person taking this game by the scruff of their necks is Joe.
I bet everyone in the middle there was like, for fuck's sake, boy, stop kicking it back and forth.
Bursts through the first couple of tackles, stays on his feet. If you want to see a good exiting pattern, how to get out of your half, none more simpler than just putting your head down and running mighty hard.
Well, they stood off Launchbury, didn't they? Expecting the same again. It's clever from him.
Stein does very well at the front of that by now.
You just got to compose yourself, man, otherwise.
Brought in for that job. Shaker 10 out of 12 otherwise. Wrestling it up to half weight. Sculpting. Six Nations debut last season. Bronzini hoists it. Daly positions himself. The pressure from Bazenyi.
Very good timing from him there. Good contest in the air.
Johnny May doing what he can to put a little pressure on Talavani here. Brown. Beginning to run the ball with some threat, and Care finds Ford. Oh, that was an important tackle from Favara, who got down low to tap Ford's ankles and arrest England perhaps momentarily. Here goes Daly, and this is Laws.
You see how Italy's defensive patterns completely change. You can't do what they did in that first half if you don't make an offensive tackle. And with England making these line breaks and owning that game at the moment, they're having to throw men into the ruck and actually do some competing.
Once again, Italy's rock-free zone. They can position players wherever they want, and Bronzini's right in the middle lane of the M1 here.
England are actually, they're adapting to it really well. Every time they're offside, they're just picking and going. Go through the middle, keep it tight. Let's not chuck anything 50-50 until they get on the front foot, and then they can play once again.
Tojo was on the floor as he tried to pull that ball in, and if you're on the floor, you're out of the game.
Hey, good hustle from Italy, good hustle.
It's a shame.
They have been shredded the last 10
England
minutes.
look like they're trying to sort it out.
They've managed to find a recovery. Looks like Ben Youngs is coming on for Danny Care anytime soon. Jager piling through the middle there, just causing chaos. He can dive on that because it's out, the penalty's already given.
This is a nice break here. The game's starting to open up. Danny Care looking really lively. Getting offload to George Ford. What a decisive tackle that was. That's where England are looking really sharp at the moment. Here's the tackle on George Ford. Luke McLean gets back. Desperately grapples George Ford. Right to the tackle.
Let's open another can, shall we?
Scoring in Cardiff with that little tick and poke over the line 2 weeks ago. He's on for Danny Care, who's done his job. Certainly in the first 10 minutes of the second half with the try that restored some balance for England, and a couple of Italy changes as well. Pietro Ceccarelli, the tight head prop, on for Lorenzo Cittadini, and Tommaso Benvenuti has taken the place of Giulio Bazenyi.
I'm not surprised to see Cittadini going off after he missed that tackle on Launchbury. That's a shocker. It's a head-on tackle, and if you're 19, 20 stones, you've got to be making those. I am surprised to see Danny Care come off. Maybe it was premeditated. We saw that not work for Wales in Cardiff last time against England. But Danny Care, he suffered in that first half because of his tactic. The Italians, he suffered more than anyone because he's the one who's got to control that ball at the breakdown. But the last 11 minutes and 45 seconds, I think he's been electric.
Cross forwards by Maro Itoje.
Nearly. Went for it, the big fella. There's some long arms, those. He had it, but he met Fouser. He met a 21-stone roadblock, unfortunately for him.
Picked up in the right position, Maro. I'll tell you what, my last year when I was playing, 60 metres out, I would have had to run in that far. I tell you.
Maro Itoje taking his place in the second row of this scrum with Courtney Laws hanging off on the left on the blind side.
Oh, yes.
Defence to get that ball back, and this is Benvenuti, a starter. Opening a couple of weekends in Rome against Wales and Ireland, and that's a ball to nobody in particular. But Italy still have it, and Tommaso Allan, a reminder that Carlo Canna remains an option for them on the bench. This is the man who put the cat amongst the pigeons with his try just before half-time, Venditti. Grey above Twickenham over the last 10 minutes. Just wonder whether we might be sent for a shower or two. We'll see. Remains dry for the time being. Working hard over the top of that. He's lasted longer than he did in Cardiff. He's still with us 54 minutes in. Jeremy George sits restlessly doubtless on the bench. By Stein. Again, remains an option. Balls there.
England are at it now. Dan Cole's pinched it. Nathan Hughes getting in the way. Tackle over Gaffer. Anything you can do?
Taken up by McLean. Ronzini. And now Fouser. Nathan Hughes takes his place again just behind the offside line, but they all know what the options are, and England have won it back. And Italy, having played Russian roulette, have found the gun pointing back at them now. England have very much turned the tables. There goes Cole. For the first try in this match. Away by Benjamins.
Very good defensive set from England. Frustrating in the first half. If you can't beat them, join them. Nathan Hughes certainly adapted really well. No tackler, gets himself offside, bumps that Parise, makes a complete mess of that ball. Only a couple of days later for England to turn over the ball. Look at Dan Cole, he's working hard to retrieve it. Get the ball into touch.
Quite fascinating.
And England are making the changes now, and Dylan Hartley does give way after 55 minutes, as does Johnny May. Johnny May replaced by Jack Knoll, the Exeter wing. Jamie George on for Hartley, but perhaps the most significant substitution amongst all of that lot, amongst the trio, Mako Bonapola, who's back with us. He's a couple of months out with a knee injury.
Great defensive read from Farrell that.
Same, just a tackle. Run! Stay blue!
Under pressure from George. Set of fully charged batteries. As still it seems has Mike Brown. 16th championship win in a row for him, by the way, would beat an England record that's stuck for nearly 100 years. A little bit more likely than it did at half-time. England with a 7-point lead now. Still, it's a fascinating contest. And underneath it, but he was stewarded out of touch like a bloke who didn't have a ticket.
Great kick, great chase. You've got to get your timing right, or he's off to the next call. What's happening? Really good defensive work.
Six.
Poor Tommaso Allan. Big Marrow's coming. Doesn't just want to knock him down, drives the leg, just an extra push on his left leg to get him into touch.
Launchbury down quickly. Farrell and forward, and now Tio doing for the first time in the match really what England were hoping to get him doing much earlier. Offers such a different option lots of ball playing backs amongst England's options, but without Manu Tuolangi still injured, Ben Teo doing something slightly different, and we saw it there.
Definitely does. Hard, direct, straight running. It's very effective. The forwards are starting to adopt it. Jack Noel wants to...
Oh, that one's gone straight through. However, the whistle will bring him back. Now, what was that all about?
Georgie, are you there? I am there. You just have a look if there is a potential obstruction.
I'm looking for potential obstruction.
Just around the breakdown, please.
Around the breakdown, okay.
Did Roman Clark blow his whistle before the ball was put down?
Yeah, but I saw Jack Noel. He made sure he did get it down to it.
Does bump into Nathan Hughes. That's tough on Luke McLean to make that tackle.
That's crossing, unfortunately.
It's crossing.
So it's Luke McLean who he will argue will have made that tackle on Jack Noel if Nathan Hughes hadn't have been there.
I think whenever you're in front of the ball and you don't have a ball in your hands, you often make up the referee's mind. He's in an offside position.
We just got one more angle.
Which is all right by you. We'll have a look at this one last angle as we will.
They're all the angles, and the player was in an obstruction position. He obstructed the player who had the ball, so therefore it is obstruction and penalty.
Okay, I definitely agree with you because there is a contact and the blue players is going on the players to tackle on the players in front. That's clearly an obstruction. We go for penalty kick and disallow the try, okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
I mean, everyone's booing it, but that's a good call.
There is a clear contact on the white players in front. The blue players thought he was the ball carrier. He came. There is a contact. That's clearly an obstruction. I'm going to the mark. Thank you very much.
In the middle of all that, it started to rain as well, for those who are interested in the weather.
Ooh, it started to rain.
4 degrees. Referee says here. Here, drum there, look, was whistle. Pretty easy decision, I think, for Roman Clark. Good call.
Meantime, a couple of Italian substitutions just to bring you up to speed with Michele Rizzo, the Leicester loose head drop, has replaced Andrea Lavotti. Maxim Mbanda, who's had a very good tournament thus far, on for Simone Favaro. Mbanda, the Zebre back rower, 23-year-old of real quality, and he's
I
playing.
really don't like it when they start singing. They can't fucking sing.
This is Mbanda. Those young players that have got Conor O'Shea excited about the years that he will have in charge of this team.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Padovani, the fullback, who's looked very tidy. Cameron, we spoke about, is on the bench as well.
Absolutely long kick gives Daly more time to position himself, and now he's trying to find some space. And here's Brown, who wasn't far away. Forward to the right. Now this is Jack Noel. Johnny May's pace for the first 50 minutes. Now they've got the industry of Jack Noel, but Italy is still working hard as well. And Nathan Hughes with the big hit on Mbanda, which was perfectly fair. And on we go with Parise. And this is Stain, and Daly doing very well to stop a much bigger man.
Elliot Daly's defended brilliantly well out on the fringes, out wide. And very physical.
Doing everything brilliantly.
Like I say, 5 tackles so far, none of them missed. Bronzini. 26 now, he's only just really starting at this level, at test level. He made his debut in the autumn against New Zealand. Is that Allen, who's now injured? Trying to work without their fly half at the moment.
I think this is the part of the game where Italy really need to develop. It's when they get slow ball, what's plan B? It's unfortunate, Allen's on the floor, so they've lost their general. They just look a little bit rudderless. If England can keep their discipline, this should be meat and drink for them.
It has been busy since coming on. Captain Yarrow.
Oh! Oh! He's there! Oh! Oh! Oh, yeah.
If England can keep their discipline, it should be meat and drink. There doesn't seem to be much on. Campagnaro just puts his head down, runs hard at George Ford, steps inside Mike Brown, and then with a bit of determination and grease on the floor, manages to go. We've seen him do this for Exeter all season. You need people to step up when you're lacking leaders. No Tommaso Allen, down to 14 men, they get themselves back into the game.
And a week on from scoring his first Aviva Premiership try for Exeter for the Chiefs, he's got another for Connacht.
Fair play, boys, fair play. We got a game on.
Himself back in southwest London, I think it's fair to say.
Campagnaro is a ferocious attacking player when he's given space. As that ball was passed, you can hear Owen Farrell on the far side of the ruck screaming, hit him, hit him, hit him. He knows exactly from the Aviva Premiership exactly how dangerous he is. George Ford had him straight on and missed him. Horror show in defence. Great finish, Campagnaro.
Tommaso Allen, because he's still being hoisted gingerly to his feet, so the responsibility of this conversion goes to Padovani. Just drifts to the left, so no conversion, and no more Tommaso Allen either. He's really hurt his left shoulder, but no denying the quality of this try scored by a bloke who's just re-signed with Exeter today, and that's exactly why Rob Baxter and co are keen to keep him at Sandy Park. Into the final quarter, and there's just 2 points in it.
And if you consider 8 points have been missed at post, 2 penalties, 1 conversion now, Italy can actually be ahead.
Yeah.
With a new fly half, in replacement Carlo Canna, started in the first 2 rounds. A chance to see the bigger picture, taking the London air before engaging here. Has engaged. Punched out of his way, and it's picked up by Bendetti, but he was plunged forwards clearly. So Bendetti has to drop the ball in the 22 rather than behind the try line.
I've heard that collision from here. 2 blokes properly going for it. It's the right call.
So we have lost the 2 second halves of their Six Nations matches so far by a combined total of 65 points to 0. That's good for the whole of this match. More competitive today.
We need a space. New players, but we need a space, okay? We need a space. Shoulder, leave the shoulder in front. Make it easy, make it easy.
Part of England's front row now replacement Blue said just a week after returning. A couple of months out with a knee injury, he played for his club Saracens at Kingston, Gloucester. Last Friday, now he's back in the Test arena. Here with his big brother Billy, by the way, has been invited to try and get fit in time for the Ireland game on March the 18th.
Yeah, we saw him at the Gloucester game, it was our guest actually, just a couple of weeks ago. He said he's doing everything he can to get himself potentially for a match-winning game out in Dublin.
Ford. Noel, again, just sitting on a pitch that has been dampened by the downpour. He trucks it up, and then Jamie George running the kind of angle and acceleration. It's created so many problems for club defences this season. Jack Noel doing a lot of his work in the middle of the pitch at the moment, and now they go again with Youngs, and just a hint of an early tackle there from Brownstein. Too early. Just got the timing wrong, the Italian blindside flanker.
Ben Young drives himself through that gap. There comes the early tackle. Mike Brown caught before he's got the ball. Good spot from Roman White.
You can see the difference it makes when England get a bit more direct, when Italy are still employing this tactic of having no ruck and therefore no offside line. Get direct, you saw from Jamie George. A lovely snipe from Ben Youngs. Mike Brown off the shoulder. That pressure on pressure is allowing Italy to make those mistakes.
Good to see that man back, Mako Vunipola. We know he scrummages well. That was a brilliant first effort. Got England's left side up, made the tack easier. Lots of scrum halves used to be called an extra back rower. He's like having an extra fly half, so good are his skills. Just happens to weigh 21 stones.
Oh.
So,
What is wrong with the kicking game today?
Owen Farrell off the tee today. He'd be in the rough a lot if he was playing golf.
Should we just assume it's a lot windier than it was when we were walking around on the pitch before the game? Because no one's kicking well today.
Just back underway. Nathan Hughes. Invited to think a lot about those kinds of lines that he runs by Eddie Jones during his time in the England camp. Theo, nailed by Jaeger. Haskell quickly to his Wasps clubmate Joe Launchbury, over halfway. Now Ben Youngs. Again, Italy just putting half a question mark in the minds of England by drifting round a ruck that wasn't a ruck, and that's drawn in the scrum.
Wasn't well dealt with that time. We saw the same in the first half. Danny Kerr tried to nip behind that sort of trespassing defender as the lads exchange handbirds.
15 minutes to go in the England game, and we have got a game. Italy are playing for the win, boys. Fucking right.
Eddie Jones is frustrated. They're booing here at Twickenham. That kind of summarises the opening 66 minutes of the game. Italy have posed a lot of questions which England haven't quite found the answers for. That being said, they're still up on the scoreboard.
How brilliant this has been for Italy though, and what work Conor O'Shea has done to pull his team off the floor, because they really thought that they were in with a chance of beating Wales, particularly at half time. They got any help from the officials that day. They were really undone by Ireland 2 weeks ago, and to get them to be playing at this level and with this kind of intelligence really does say something for the work that the coaches have done over the last couple of weeks.
Brilliant coaching, brilliant research, it's rounded thoughts, top class. It's really worked on a number of occasions.
And England's gone with Mako Vunipola in it. They just drive over the ball, and Hughes can set it up for Youngs. Ford will chase this. Daly's chasing as well. Canna's got his right toe there just in time.
Just brilliant rugby all round. England turn the ball over at the scrum. An intelligent kick from Ben Youngs. Here it is. But check out Carlo Canna. Just as Ellie Daly was about to pounce. I'm talking about laws.
Georgie,
Yes, Roman.
I'm sure the white players didn't have the ball in the end. But I just want to make sure if the ball goes out in touch or in goal.
Roman, the ball was kicked from the field of play by Blue and it went touch and goal. So it's a 5-metre scrum.
5-metre scrum.
To
Okay.
White.
I definitely agree with you. Okay.
If the ball had been over the try line,
If the ball had gone over the try line, it'd be Italy's 22. But in saying that, I'm not sure if you're actually allowed to go with your feet for the ball whilst the ball's in the field of play, if you see what I mean. Because that could be deemed as dangerous. He's lucky to have made contact with the ball. Either way, it's a scrum 5 metres for England. And play on. Lovely bit of play from Canada.
Mistaken. I think the ball's gone out here.
oh, hang on, we're going to have a recount here.
George, check. He actually kicked it out. I thought initially he kicked it in touch and goal, but it actually is out, so it's a line out.
That's a line out.
Correct.
Captain.
actually.
We are sorry. We work and the decision is just it's a line out rather than a scrum, okay? That's a line out for white.
What else will we be doing on a Sunday afternoon that could beat the excitement of leafing through Rugby's law?
Sorry about that. So I've brought my legal team with me today.
Telling me this is bad news for Italy. Their scrum's not been too bad, but England 5 metres out. This is what tries to lose the line.
6 men.
Dozen minutes to go. England with the slenderest of leads. This attacking line out. Jamie George. Taken by Courtney Laws, looking for a try that would bring them their first ever Six Nations bonus point. 3 tries so far. A fourth would be a bumper score. And Italy have got some work to do to either try and bring this down or stop England before they get to the line. Marco Fuzaire with the scrum cap doing what he can, but England probing, looking for soft patches. May have fallen just short there. They're going to have to reset and go again. There's the ball. Tojo makes sure that it's still England's to play with. Back over Napola makes doubly sure and has a go on his own. Bonapola's there again with Youngs. England have got so much room on the right-hand side should they decide to give it some air, but showing no inclination at the moment. George Ford screaming for it. He's got it now, and England have a whole cavalry on the right-hand side. Genevieve George, 2-0. He scores. Oh, they made that a little bit harder than they might have done, but in the end they get the try.
You got their bonus point?
Exactly the man you want to take the ball in that situation. Yes, he's quick, but he's so
But
determined. He was always going to drive himself over from there. He scored despite.
can they get clear? That's the question, because everyone's been kicking quite
Just holds it for
bad
a
today.
split second, allows for Italian defence to blitz up. Once they've completely committed, it's that delay there, which allows Jamie George that amount of space. He just does the simple thing very well, and that far out, Jack Noel, he's certainly going to score a brilliant finish. A little bit of hard work, but a lovely finish, and gives them a bit of breathing space. It's just about doing the simple things well.
What does Eddie Jones call the replacements these days?
Finishers.
The finishers. Not quite finished yet, but
A simple rebranding. I'm going to still call them subs, if that's all right.
it hasn't been a kicking masterclass from either team today. And Noel's try stretches England's lead, but it's still a long way from a comfortable one.
You're absolutely right. Just looking at that delayed pass once again from George Ford, he reads the game so well. Italy were out of numbers, out of shape.
John, it is strange to see 4 tries and a half for England and it's not 28 points, like, you know.
Jack Clifford and Tom Wood have come on for England. Nathan Hughes and James Haskell make their way back to the benches.
Stay 6.
All of those finishers. Forward on. Here's Calloway. Italy looking for rescuers right now, and here goes Brown. Sinclair, whose agents come on, a large bus going through a big hole and didn't quite have the windmills on him, but how spectacular was that? This might be the try that finishes it. And it's scored.
Yeah, that's the one that finishes it.
First England star in the Six Nations, and Teo has the try set up by Sinclair.
Teo gets the finish and make no mistake. That try belongs to Big Sink. Have a look at that. 20 stones on the hoof. That's a full running downhill. Well tackled in the end. Lovely from Ben Youngs. Tried that a couple of times. It's come off. McLean does well to get back. Sinclair can really shift. Good hands, Mike Brown.
Lovely try once
Well,
again, very simple.
it's not over yet, but I don't know, I don't think they're going to come back now. It's not over yet, mine, but I don't think they're coming back.
Fitness seems to be flagging. England has stepped it up once again. Looking very comfortable.
His kicks aren't getting any easier. Not who hasn't found kicking that easy today.
Come on, bud, get it over. Get over. Get your second kick. There you go.
And finally, from the toughest of angles.
Mental toughness, tip, not been an easy day for the team.
14 points tonight.
That's his job. Started his career with Battersea Ironside, a team in southwest London. He didn't really get rugby. He turned up in a full Manchester United kit that evening.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see this on message. And Demas, how are you doing, bud? I don't know if you're still there, but how are you doing? I didn't even notice on written the chat then. How long ago was it actually?
In this match, there's a smile on the face of English rugby. It's taken a while. What a contest Italy have made it. Thoughtful their approach and still how clever they play. But Daly had to.
I can't see how long ago it was.
Takes that line out.
But yeah, how are you doing anyway, bud?
The way to Parise, what athleticism, how about that? Sergio Parise, test number 124 today, drawing him level with Brian Habana at the top of the list. We're offside to Italian penalty.
Remarkable athleticism, such a big bloke, especially 75 minutes deep. Starts out, jumps in.
Footwork of the ballerina, Sergio Parise, the man is remarkable.
What must life be like when you look like that?
Pretty good to me.
Hearing, by the way, that Alessandro Zanni, who's got a knee injury and therefore stranded on 99 caps, is being looked at as a lock forward going forward. So days of playing alongside Parise in the back row may well be over test-wise, but he's making his way back. And Ben Thier has been replaced by Henry Slade, who's on for his Six Nations debut. Chiefs now. Youngs. Penalty's gone against Grant Stain for a bit over physical near the scrum half.
Ironically, it's brought about the loudest cheer of the day, hasn't it? He loves it. A former detective, he's had to be his very best at it, hasn't he? To get to grips with this law. Try working that one out. He's been brilliant though, let's face it.
Daly needed 1, 2, 3 opportunities to bring the ball to Hill, but he did that. And Italy weren't back.
Oh bloody hell, it was all half hour ago. Sorry, mate. I am sorry. Obviously not in the. You're obviously not going to be watching still now. But if you watch us back and that, I am sorry, mate. I didn't realise that someone messaged in the chat. I was too into the game. Sorry.
In terms of overall work rate and contribution, it's something Joe Launchbury again has just been magnificent. England really thought they would miss George Cruz, and any team in the world would miss George Cruz. Launchbury has more than stepped up. Courtney Law's wonderful too, but his impact, Launchbury, this was his crowning moment of the match. As Italy stood off him, expecting him to set up a maul, he charges through his former Wash teammate Lorenzo Cittadini. Night. He was substituted. 10 seconds later, he's had a wonderful match. He just doesn't stop.
Successive Six Nations weekends. England's star Joe Launchbury. Canna, McLean, Campagnaro. So his try scorer not so long ago. And we were still pressing.
They think it's all over. It is now.
Secure bed. Trying to score a bonus point. Now trying to repel Italy as they look for a losing one should they finish within 7.
England got the bonus point and they're going to win it. And they got the bonus point.
He's got up once again for Reese, trying to bring us forward into the game, but England side 8. Well, Toja summarising that brilliant charge now, turning defence into attack extremely quickly.
Clifford picks it up. Man with the beard. 16 offside. Tommaso De Felice, the man with the... There are a number of them, but it's number 16. And England beginning to motor once more as we head into the final lap. 90 seconds to go. Forward to George. Once again, he's got over the game line, the tackle line every time he's had the ball. And Clifford brilliantly done to find Farrell, and that wasn't far away from Venditti. But England are looking for a fifth, and this is Noel, and this is a Toje. To end the match in full voice, here goes Slade on his Six Nations debut. Curial young player. Ford. Italy trying to lasso him. The ball went free. Noel once more, and he finishes it for England. Italy threw the Rubik's Cube in the first half and said, sort this out. In the second half, England by and large have. And in the end, the scoreline will look comfortable enough, but it really won't tell the tale. The win, however, will be England.
Toji with a charge down to the boot to the face for his troubles. He's been superb this afternoon. What we just missed there was a gorgeous offload off the floor as Farrell knocks the 2 over from Henry Slade. There was another lovely bit of follow-up play from Ben Youngs. Led to the Noel try. Here comes Slade. That ball takes a deflection, he hits the deck. How about that? So classy. Jack Noel carries there, he's back up 2 phases later, scoring. Brilliant from Ben Youngs, good follow-up work. Jack Noel just drives those big legs.
This win will mean that it's 13 in a row now at home in the championship for England. Still one short of the record held by the class of 2003. Messi and Johnny and co. We've seen today that there's still a significant gap between what they did and what this team are achieving to do. You can't argue with the numbers. And England continue to lock up the wins, and there goes Daly. And only really pulled away in the last 10 minutes, however. And Italy have played a full part in a riveting contest. Goodness me, we've seen what's happening on the rugby pitch today that we have
Well.
seen. In the end, it's congratulatory handshakes for it.
That was an interesting one. You know, it wasn't until the last 10 minutes, right, where England, pulled away and stayed away. Fair play, got handed that tactic with the tackling, that was a bit of genius, that was. Unfortunately, I reckon they used that tactic too soon. Way too soon. I mean, if they'd done it in the second half, it could have fucked with England, and England wouldn't have been able to go into the changing room and getting told what to do. But no, I mean, this was a better attacking performance, I reckon, from England. I haven't really seen much from them in ways of attacking when they played against Wales or when they played against France. They looked a bit more switched on today when it came to attacking, but this was no way near the best England can play. Which does mean when they go up against Scotland, that's going to be the one. That is going to be the one. Because Scotland win, you can probably pull them down to win the whole thing if Scotland beat England. I actually want Scotland to win. It'd be fucking great. Aye. It'd be fucking great if Scotland could fucking win the Six Nations. Aye. You know what to say, laddie. But another point of interest, Ireland. Now Ireland could get fucked up by Wales, but they still gotta play England. I mean, England, they've had it their own way at the moment. I mean, the thing is, England played shit and France played shit in the first game, from what I remember of it, and they fluked the win at the end, but both teams played shit. They were the worst team when they played Wales, and they just fluked the win at the end. Italy, they were the better side for the first half anyway. Italy definitely was the better side in the first half, but England, I mean, our first 5 minutes or so, like, bang over the try line, bang over the try line. Then they were starting to deal with Italy's tactics and that. Yeah, you know, we fucking got you now, boys. And then, you know, last 10 minutes, like, bang, bang, bonus point, bang, there's the win, bang, we need this goal difference. But the goal difference is going to come into effect, I reckon, because Scotland Scotland are looking very tasty, and I know I say it now, but Ireland is still looking like they could do some damage. England, you're going to really need to pick up the performance against those two teams, because Scotland are playing brilliant. I mean, the game yesterday, sure, Wales kept giving away fucking penalties left, right and fucking Chelsea, but this is a different Scotland. This Scotland is finishing opportunities. They are clinching fucking any chance they have of getting points on the board. That's what it's all about. So, at the end of week 3 of the RBS Six Nations, England sit on top of the leaderboard with, I believe, 13 points, and Scotland have 9, I think. Yeah, they got to lose some bonus point against France. Yeah, Scotland have 9. Ireland, thank you, I'll have a cream egg. Thank you, I'll have another cream egg. There we go, hey. You suck. I told you I used to play rugby. See the way I just caught both those cream eggs, one hand? You know how I do. Anyway, as I was saying before, I was rude. Oh, there we go, it's right there. Ireland, 3 points behind England. Scotland, 4 points behind England, right? Wales and France, we're out of it. We are out of it. Italy are out of it. It's all over for us three. All any of us can do right now is try to be best for the rest, and that's going to come down to, it's going to come down to Wales versus France. Because honestly, France should beat England. Sorry, not England, Italy. France should beat them. And that's pressure on Wales and to beat France. So, sure, we could end up finishing 5th. Oh my god. Oh, I've just worked out. Yeah, we could end up finishing 5th, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, I mean, Ireland, you're not going to want to give up their chances of winning. I can tell you that much right now. We'll have to wait and see anyway. England on top of the championship at the moment. Right, 13 points for England, 10 points at the moment for Ireland, 9 points for Scotland, 5 points for Wales, 5 points for France, and no points at all at the moment for Italy. It is getting tight at the top. Whoever wins between Scotland and England, that's going to set it up for a climax at the end, because Scotland, if they beat England, they go level on points. That's if they don't get the bonus point in that, bonus point either way, and that will put one in the lead. But Ireland, if they beat Wales and Scotland can beat England, it really is going to be a fucking tight one at the end. And I'm not being funny, but I would love to see Scotland do it again. They haven't won this championship since 1999, and that was before Italy even joined it. That's how long ago it was. But we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I know not many people actually joined it. I did have a message in here, but I did not see it until very late. I do apologise, mate. But shit happens. Shit happens. There was good rugby on. So I had to focus on that. So anyway, I'll catch you in the next Six Nations weekend. We'll be watching more rugby. Way. Catch you in a bit, YouTube. Peace.